Have you guys ever noticed how unfair the Madden 26 trade logic is? Let's go ahead and jump into this because I hope it's not just me, but I find it to be extremely unfair. And I will find two guys that are almost the identical person. They're both rookies, and we will see what it takes to trade for a player like that, and then what the CPU will give you in return for an identical player to that. So one person I found, or the two people I found, were Harold Fannin Jr., who, if you guys know, he was, I believe, a third-round pick of the Cleveland Browns. He's normal dev, so he's 21 years old. He's a tight end. He's a 74 overall. So nothing special, right? A tight end, which is considered not an extremely valuable position. Not when you consider quarterback, tackles, defensive ends, defensive tackles, wide receivers, and positions like that. Corners. But let me put Harold Fannin into, let's get offers for Harold Fannin Jr. So the Browns want 2 third-round picks and a 7th-round pick, even though he was a 3rd-round pick. I can kind of get that a little bit, but it seems a little extreme, right? But I get it that they drafted him in the 3rd round, so they would want an additional 3rd as compensation. But again, he's a 74 with no dev trait. None, right? The second offer is 3 4th-round picks. So 26, 27, and 28. A 5th-round pick in 2027. A 5th and 28. And then a 7th and 28. I don't know about you guys, but I don't just use the first round or two to get the players that help me in my dynasties. They say that your first 3 rounds of picks in the NFL should all be starters for you. And then 4 through 7 are possible starters. So they want 3 4ths, 2 5ths, and a 7th. Or 2 3rds and a 7th. Well, I don't want to give up 2 3rds, so let's go with this, okay? We'll go with the 3 4ths, 2 5ths, and a 7th for a 74 overall tight end with no development. Okay, we take their deal. Now let's back out of here and let's go back into Trade Finder. Let's look at the Jets. For those of you that know the Jets, you know Mason Taylor. Now Harold Fannin Jr. is 21. Mason Taylor is 21. They both have no dev traits. Mason Taylor is just 1 overall better. Basically the same player. He's a 21-year-old rookie, just like Fannin, right? So let's see what we will get offered by the CPU. There are no trades for this package. So it's not just looking at the Browns, it's looking at every team, and there's no team, even that needs a tight end, that says, you know what, we could use a 21-year-old rookie tight end that's a 75 overall, even though he doesn't have a dev trait, but he's a young guy. There's got to be teams out there that if he would not be their first, he would be their backup, but there's no team that wants to trade for him. So let's try to, okay, here's the Buccaneers. They're a team that needs, and just to show you that, you know, it wasn't just the Browns that I made the offers to. There are no trades, you know, so it doesn't just look at the team, you know, like the Browns or the Bucs. It looks throughout the league. But team needs, Baker Mayfield needs a tight end, and I'm sure he would prefer George Kittle or somebody like that, but I'm sure he would like a young guy that is a 75 overall. How many of you guys have drafted tight ends that are 72 overall? How many have you drafted that are 68 overall? This dude is a 75, right? Let's do their scenario and let's actually do the exact same trade. Let's offer that. Look at the trade bar. I offered the exact same trade, and it isn't even a fourth of the way towards completion of a trade. We don't feel the offer brings enough value comparatively to what we be giving up. Okay, I just traded for a 74 overall tight end that's the same age, that is a rookie, just like Mason Taylor. He's one less overall, and I had to give up all those picks, and the CPU would only accept it if I gave up all those picks, right? But I go to try to do the same trade to some team in need of a tight end. That's another thing. Tampa Bay, one of their top 5 needs is tight end. And though I included 3/4, 2/5, and a 1/7, it's not even a quarter of the way to being completed. Now, how unfair is that? EA, you have to fix that. Madden, come on. How did you guys not go in and do testing and test out the trade logic? And just so you guys know, the trade logic is on normal. Trade difficulty, normal. Can you imagine if it was hard? You would have to give up 3 first-round picks in maybe 2 seconds just to get a 75 overall, no dev tight end. How is that fair? And how is that fun? So anyway, hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you've had the same experience. Maybe you guys haven't. Maybe my download got twisted somehow. Maybe it's jacked up for some reason. But I just seem to run into that all the time. And, so if I'm doing a dynasty, sometimes people will pop me for, trading Trent Williams for 2 first-round picks or whatever. Well, it's because if I did the reverse thing, it would be completely, different. It would be the opposite. And so I guess my point is that, I never try to take advantage of the CPU, but in this instance, it's as if the CPU is not even close in the ability to trade for or trade a player of the same value, same age, same everything, and it be even. For what you ask is the same as you give for that same player, right? But anyway, hit me up in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Please smash that like button and that subscribe button and hit that noti bell if you would. Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me rant a little bit. Appreciate you guys. Take care.